All right, so storytelling is an intentional art of shaping a perspective, giving a voice to your narrative. If I come here and I say, good morning, everybody, how are you doing? This sister, I like her voice, it's very deep. Hope I'm communicating with everyone. So don't you put in your camera and shooting. All right, rule two has to do with 3 words that are very, very important in our discussion for today. Our discussion for today is finding your voice, building confidence to tell your story. There is no storyteller without a voice. There is no storyteller without confidence. There is no storyteller without a performance. What did I say? There is no storyteller without what? A voice. The next one is confidence. The next one is what? Performance. A voice, confidence, and performance. These 3 things would be what we would dissect in today's communication. Let's talk about voice. Voice is beyond you talking. Okay, voice is beyond you saying, hello, my name is Janet. Your voice is beyond that. And that is why even the dumb would still tell a story. There are some persons who may not be able to speak, yet they have certain skills. Maybe the person cannot sing, but the person can hear. I don't know if you've seen somebody who is dumb play the keyboard. Have you seen someone like that? How many of us, there's a music producer who is blind but still produces music? Thank you so much. Thank you. So you can see that storytelling is beyond you putting your eyeshadow. Storytelling is beyond you, having beautiful voice. Storytelling is beyond you telling people who you are narratively. Storytelling is everything in between that makes you who you are. I remember what I said, even the dead still tell stories. Your voice is not just the sound you make. It is your identity. It is your tool for influence. Somebody mentioned Cobams. One of his tools for influence is what? One of his tools for influence is what? Thank you so much. All right, moving forward, let's talk about rule 3. Rule 3, yeah? Your voice is your what? Please, let's read together. Your voice is what? Your what? No one else has that voice. Again, remember I said it's beyond how you sound. It is everything in between that makes you who you are, that gives you the influence that you have. The next one is what? Silence allows others to write your story. If you do not tell your story, someone else will tell the story for you. Have you ever been in a situation where they say, why did you come late? Before you answer, somebody had already answered. Have you ever had that situation? The person speaks for you and you're like, that's not why I came late, but it's fine. Have you ever been in that situation? Yeah. So if you do not tell your story, someone else will tell your story. Great storytellers are remembered for how they told their stories, not just for the story they make. Think about the biggest creator or the creators you admire. It's not just about the content they make, but how they make their content. All right, let's move to confidence. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's you doing it regardless. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Some of us here might be having, you might cringe because you feel scared to start that content creation. I'm a spoken word artist, by the way, and I have performed in so many rooms. I've performed at the UN House. I've performed under Ashoka. I've performed with the German embassy. For all these events I have gone for, I have not always gone there with so much glam and confidence. Sometimes, even the brightest of mind have stage fright. When you say I'm scared to speak, it just comes in different levels. For some of us, I was seated here yesterday to speak. I was supposed to speak yesterday. Believe me, I went home having kata. Maybe the kata came as a result of, my mind saying, I'm about to speak today. Not because I've never spoken somewhere, but because I was like, hope everyone will get what I'm trying to say. Hope I'm going to get it right. But that does not mean I wasn't confident in myself. Confidence is not the absence of fear, but the ability to stand to tell your story despite that fear. All right, rule number 4, we have goal, preparation, and execution. Here, in telling your story, you must have a goal. There's something in my head about me coming here today. When you check my outfit, I was very intentional about putting my outfit together. I did not want to come in here and then look. Maybe I did not want to come in. Of course, I'm not putting on a wig. You are similar, or you are likened to the person who never had that intention or that goal. Let's talk about performance. You must be an active subject in your story. Tell somebody, do not let somebody tell your story. Please do that. Do not let somebody tell your story. Have you ever been in a situation where you have an idea, you share that idea with a friend, few weeks later, you see that friend executing that idea? Have you been in that situation? Has anyone been in that situation? How did you feel? Dear, I'm also a law graduate. There is nothing you can do about it. Do you get? There is nothing you can do because there was no legal contract. I told you, oh, I'm going to speak. So please, this is what I'm going to do. And then the next thing, one of the speakers comes up and says, the speaker before me comes up and says, story. And then I come up. I cannot say story again because somebody has taken that idea. Do you get? So performance is you being that active agent in your story. You must be very intentional about creating the kind of perception you want others to have about you. Remember when I started, I said perception is the world's most expensive brand. You must be the main conversation. Please tell someone, I will be the main conversation in my story. Conversation in my story. Thank you. Now, I'm going to move to rule 5. I've spoken about a lot of rules now. And I would like to pay attention to these because some of us might be hearing some of these things for the first time. In storytelling, you must have exploitive advantage. You must understand attention, understand profitability. Please listen carefully. I can break this down. What is exploitive advantage? Exploitive advantage is the advantage you have over others despite you having similar characteristics. I'm a spoken word artist. I met our beautiful spoken word artist here who performed here yesterday. There is something about me that would make both of us stand out in our different field. For some of us here, content creators, for some of us here who create videos, we have the tendency of trying to imitate others without realizing that individuals have their different exploitive advantage. For some of you here, it might be your hair. Like our beautiful sister, you have an amazing hair. For some of you here, it might be your eyes. I don't know, have you ever followed somebody online, not because of the way the person speaks, but maybe because of the person's lip? Do you know someone like that? For some persons, it's their eyes. For some persons, it's their nails. So think about yourself. What is your exploitive advantage over others that would make you tell your story better and grab attention? Now let's move to attention. Attention arbitrage. Attention arbitrage simply means the ability, it's business, so the ability to give a value in exchange of the people's attention. I am not telling you my story for you to just hear and go. I am telling you my story because I need your attention. If I come here speaking to you and everybody is moving here and there, somebody is eating, I would not feel happy. It would make me feel like my preparations were in vain. All right? So understand that in storytelling, you must give something valuable. And you understanding how to give something valuable is you understanding what your exploitive advantage is against others in similar fields, so that you don't end up being the copycat of another person. Now let's talk about profitability. Profitability is relative. What is profitable to me might not be what is profitable to you. So to me, I might be a spoken word artist because I want to make money. Like, I want to make money in that field. So when I show up every day, I'm not showing up because I want people to know me. I'm actually showing up because there are certain kinds of people that if they know me, I would make money. And if I have so many following and certain kinds of people don't know me, it is not profitable to me. What is profitable to you might be visibility. So at every point in time, when you want to tell a story, ensure that you outline. Remember we talked about goal, preparation, and execution. Outline what is profitable to you. And what is profitable to you might also be in different stages. Right now, in your content creation journey, you might be all about documenting your process. At some point, it might be all about increased visibility, and at some point, it might be finance. So let's quickly move on. All right, I'm gonna brush this really fast so we can round off. Part of storytelling, there are certain structures to storytelling. You must have a hook, something that captivates others. You must have conflicts in your story. What is conflict? Conflicts, internal conflicts, external conflicts. It means that there is something you as a storyteller, you are always against. For me, as a spoken word artist, I'm always against getting the people's attention. So I do not just want to perform and leave the stage. I want to perform and be the experience or be your experience on stage or at that event. So your story should have how your problems are being overcome. And finally, there must be a takeaway lesson for your audience. All right. I told you I'm a spoken word poet. And just a brief one, there's a difference between spoken word poetry and spoken word. Spoken word is everything that has to do with oral performance. Rap, trap, rhymes, they are spoken word. Spoken word poetry is you infusing poetry, the qualities of poetry, into spoken word. So having said that, I had to rush my session, my facilitation. Having said that, my name is Adeyemo, Jesutofunmi Janet. I do believe that going forward, you would tell your stories better. You would understand attention arbitrage. You now understand exploitive advantage, and you understand the relativity of what is profitable to you when